Animals have to face a lot of danger while trying to survive in the wild. While some have to defend themselves against predators, others suffer at the hands of cruel humans. But just when you thought that all is lost, here's something to restore your faith in humanity. From global efforts to undercover crackdowns, we're rounding up the 10 most inspiring animal rescues. What's up, Vecnatics? This is Discovery Amuse, serving up your daily dose of the most outrageous, outlandish, and out-of-this-world fun facts. If you're a cat lover, then you'll definitely want to stick around for our #1 entry. Here they come to save the day!
That means that Mighty Mouse is on the way.
Number 10, Undercover Rescue. These horrifying scenes of animal cruelty were taken during a surveillance operation at an animal testing facility in North Carolina in 2010. Aside from the blatant abuse and unsanitary cages, workers were also captured spraying chemicals on dogs and cats and giving them expired sedatives before pulling their teeth. Ironically, the facility in question, Professional Laboratory and Research Services, Inc., is usually commissioned by pharma companies to test animal care products. An investigator from the People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA, went undercover as an animal caretaker in the facility to gather evidence of the alleged abuse. After PETA submitted a complaint to the USDA, the testing facility surrendered around 200 dogs and 50 cats and was forced to shut down its operations for good. Keep watching because our #1 rescue started with a single phone call.
I will look for you. I will find you.
Number 9, Trapped Leopard. In 2019, this 4-year-old leopard found itself in deep water when it fell into an uncovered 45-foot deep well in Fakta village in Maharashtra, India. Watch as the big cat desperately tries but fails to climb up the walls of the water well. Thankfully, when a group of farmers heard its splashes and growls, they immediately sought the help of authorities to rescue the trapped feline. When the rescue team from Wildlife SOS and the Maharashtra Forest Department arrived, they first tried to lower a makeshift platform to help the leopard stay afloat. Afterwards, they lured it into a cage so they could pull it up to safe ground. Despite the severe fall, the leopard didn't suffer any serious injuries and was given immediate treatment before being sent back into the wild. Number 8, Boon Dee the Elephant. If you're a tourist planning a holiday getaway in Thailand, please fight the urge to go elephant riding.
इस जगह पे अवॉइड किया क्योंकि सिर्फ यही जगह नहीं है.
No, just no.
No, God!
While these trekking camps have become a huge tourist attraction, they pose a serious threat to our gentle giants. Aside from having to carry a huge weight on their backs, these poor pachyderms suffer a lot of abuse and exploitation from their caretakers. Just take a look at what happened to Boon Dee the Elephant. When folks from the Wildlife Friends Foundation Thailand came to her aid in 2018 at a trekking camp in Pattaya, the half-blind elephant was severely malnourished and riddled with abscesses. The animal group then transferred Boon Dee to their sanctuary where she was reunited with another rescued elephant named Ganda, which she worked with years ago in a camp in Chiang Rai. Such a sweet, happy ending after a lifetime of suffering. Number 7, Abandoned Cats. A word to the wise, if you don't know how to take good care of a pet animal, then keep your paws away from them. Don't be like the homeowners of this property in northern Illinois who hoarded more than 40 cats and then left all of them to fend for themselves when the hoarders vacated the house in 2017. For 8 months, the helpless felines lived in appalling conditions with nothing to eat and the entire place filled with poop and fleas. God bless the souls of sisters Deb Parkett and Diane Harris, who immediately enlisted the help of other volunteers right after they heard about the catastrophe in the abandoned property. The place was in such a dire state that the rescuers even had to put on hazmat suits. Thankfully, all's well that ends well for the lucky felines which now live in foster homes where they've been given a new lease on life. Number 6. Stuck Manta Ray. Save the fish at all costs seemed to be the mantra of this diver when he encountered a distressed giant manta ray in 2014. While diving instructor Paul Slater and 2 other divers were on a group tour off the coast of Costa Rica, a 16-foot giant manta ray suddenly swam over them. When Slater approached the animal for a closer inspection, he found that it was not saying hi to them, but was actually crying for help. Apparently, the fish got caught in a commercial fishing line that was cutting its flesh. To help the manta ray, the divers tried to cut the line with their knives. The gesture scared the giant animal at first, causing it to swim away from them. However, it seemed to have realized that they were just giving it a helping fin, so it circled back to them and eventually came to a halt.
You're a good person.
When Slater and his team finally managed to remove the fishing line, the giant manta ray started swimming around in barrel rolls as if showing its gratitude to its saviors. Number 5. Orphaned Jaguar. Meet Chiquitai, a jaguar from the Amazon who, despite being a fierce predator, has actually grown quite fond of humans. He was only a cub when his mother was killed by hunters in 2014. Fortunately, he found a new family in the company of Brazilian soldiers who adopted him. The servicemen who practically raised him would often take Chiquitai to the river for a swim. One of these moments was immortalized by a Brazilian photographer as part of a project called Jaguars in the Amazon, launched by the Brazilian army to save the big cat species. Now, if this image looks oddly familiar, that's because it became viral in 2019 when people mistook it as something taken during the wildfires that burned down huge parts of the Amazon rainforest. Number 4. Three-legged dog. You wouldn't believe how this Great Dane pup actually lost one of its hind paws, as you can see in these photos. In May of 2015, a South Carolina police department got an anonymous tip that a neighborhood dog needed some rescuing. When the officers arrived, they found a frail black dog that seemed to be on the brink of death. Upon investigation, the cops learned that Lucifer, the Great Dane, had been tied by his owners to a metal pole in freezing cold weather with no food or water as punishment for jumping over the fence. The police suspect that Lucifer chewed off his own paw either in an attempt to break free or due to starvation. The miserable canine was turned over to Noah's Ark Rescue, where he underwent surgery to amputate his leg and was given an artificial paw. He was also given a new name, Luke. Number 3. Baby elephant and ostriches. If your heart doesn't melt at the sight of this poor baby elephant, are you even human? Imagine this calf falling down a well and getting separated from his herd. It's utterly heartbreaking. Luckily, in October 2014, the David Sheldrick Wildlife Trust in Africa was able to successfully airlift the little angel in the remote regions of Milgis Luga in Kenya. But the rescuers brought back more than just one orphaned animal to safety. 2 ostrich chicks who seem to have been abandoned were also found at the rescue site, and the 3 wild animals were taken to an animal sanctuary in Nairobi National Park. The elephant was eventually named Was, while the baby ostriches were christened Pea and Pod. Number 2. African penguins. At one point, these species of penguins almost tap-danced their way to near extinction, if not for this woman nicknamed the Penguin Lady, who fought for the lives of thousands of African penguins when everyone else said, "Off with their heads!"
Off with his head!
Back in June 2000, a cargo ship named MV Treasure capsized off the coast of Cape Town in South Africa. When the ship went down, it spilled more than 1,300 tons of bunker oil between 2 breeding colonies of African penguins, which essentially coated tens of thousands of the penguins in crude oil. Over 20,000 of the African penguins were admitted to the rehabilitation center in Cape Town. However, the facility soon became overwhelmed and was in desperate need of help. And wildlife experts believed that the survival rate of an oil-drenched penguin is under 1%. This ruffled the feathers of penguin aquarist Diane de Napoli, who decided to take action and spearhead a global response effort to save the oiled birds. 12 weeks and 45,000 volunteers later, De Napoli and her team were able to rehabilitate and release over 40,000 penguins in total, making it the largest animal rescue in history.
When we come together and work as one, we can achieve extraordinary things. And truly, to be a part of something so much larger than yourself is the most rewarding experience you can possibly have.
Before we go to our #1 pick, make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Don't forget to choose all so you won't miss out on any of our latest life-changing, boredom-busting content. And of course, be sure to turn on notifications in your app's settings. #1. Cat Slaughterhouse. In 2018, a cat owner from Tianjin, China was left heartbroken after his pet went missing. He believed that his beloved feline was snatched by pet thieves who steal animals for illegal meat trade, but little did he know that in his search he would actually stumble upon an illegal cat slaughterhouse. The man immediately tipped off a group of animal activists called the China Animal Protection Power. When the rescue team arrived at the location, they found a total of 375 cats kept in 24 wire cages. The poor cats were found emaciated and sick, getting crushed together inside the cages. Thankfully, the tipster found his lost pet alive and well. And in case you're wondering, authorities suspect that the cat meat was being sold as mutton or rabbit meat in nearby provinces. Ugh.
Wow.
So, have you ever experienced rescuing an animal yourself? Tell us about it in the comments section below. Take home any of our exclusive gear by browsing our merch shelf or clicking the link in the video description. And while you're at it, take our quiz to find out how you can earn extra cash online doing what you do best. Awesome, right? Want to know what happens when the tables are turned? Then don't miss our countdown of the 15 unbelievable animals that saved people's lives. Till then, stay ethical and cruelty-free, Factnatics, and see you in the next video.